Zion, you should be 20. You should be 20 right now with a bullet. By the end of the season, you should be 10. Just gotta get in shape. You don't play basketball and get in shape. You get in shape to play basketball. That's it. And it's over. Into the top 10 possibly. That's a shame, that here's a guy who has that much talent.
Zion Williamson, my brother, he looks fat, but you look like you showed up to the game having just ate a buffet.
I mean, physically I'm fine. Now it's just a matter of, when I feel like Zion, I pretty much do everything, but it's just a matter of the level that I was playing at before my hamstring.
The NBA's most physically gifted player since LeBron James is watching his career implode in real time, and nobody wants to admit just how bad this really is. Zion Williamson, the man who was supposed to revolutionize basketball with his unprecedented combination of size, speed, and power, has become the league's biggest disappointment, and the situation is spiraling completely out of control.
Well, now that your NBA career is officially, potentially over, that means no money for me equals no money for you.
We're talking about a player who can't stay on the court for more than 30 games without breaking down. A player whose weight issues have become the worst-kept secret in professional sports. A player whose own team is desperately trying to figure out their future while he's collecting $40 million to sit in street clothes. And now, he's facing lawsuits. His trade value is absolutely demolished, and the entire basketball world is watching what might be the most spectacular waste of talent we've ever witnessed.
How many games do you think you're gonna win if 6'6" power forward is your power forward? No matter how big you play, it just doesn't work like that. Like if he's at the 3, okay, now we're talking. Him at the 4, it just makes your team just...
If he's just healthy, they win.
Winning what?
They win more. They make the playoffs.
Pelicans were 10-20, I believe, in the games that Zion played.
Last year? Not last year. They was
2 seasons ago, Pelicans over AC, made the play-in 49-33. Zion had that 40-point game.
This isn't just about injuries anymore. This is about a complete systematic failure of a career that was supposed to change everything. And after what's been happening behind the scenes, the lawsuits that are piling up, and the way actual NBA players are treating him on the court, we need to talk about the harsh reality that Zion Williamson might already be finished. Let's start with what everyone can see, but nobody wants to fully address. When Zion actually does play, he's getting absolutely embarrassed by players who shouldn't even be in his league talent-wise. Remember that Timberwolves game where Anthony Edwards was literally toying with him? The body language, the way Edwards attacked him every single possession like he knew Zion couldn't keep up anymore. That's not normal competitive basketball. That's a young star smelling blood in the water and going after someone he knows can't defend himself anymore.
I mean, physically I'm fine. Now it's just a matter of, when I feel like Zion, I pretty much do everything, but it's just a matter of the level that I was playing at before my hamstring, and I'm just a competitor. I don't want to go out there and be in my own head and affect the team when I can just be on the sideline supporting them more. Because as I know myself, if I was to go out there, I would be in my head. Like I would hesitate on certain moves, and that could affect the game.
And it's not just Edwards. Watch what happens when teams put their centers on Zion now. Brook Lopez, who's 36 years old and should be barbecue chicken for a player with Zion's supposed athleticism, completely shut him down in their last matchup.
Cross court, here's Zion on the he's blocked. Hit the deck. He was looking for a foul. Here's Giannis to the other end.
We're talking about a guy who was drafted when Zion was 8 years old, and he's out here making Zion look like he doesn't belong on an NBA court. The disrespect has gotten so bad that role players are taking liberties. Jaren Jackson Jr. has been particularly vocal on social media with his cryptic posts that everyone knows are aimed at certain players who aren't taking their conditioning seriously. The subtweets, the emoji reactions to weight-related posts. It's all there if you're paying attention. These aren't random fans talking. These are his actual peers in the NBA who clearly have zero respect for what he's become. Draymond Green, who never holds back on his podcast, has been going after players who don't take care of their bodies, and while he doesn't always name names, the timing of his rants about wasted talent and disrespecting the game always seems to coincide with Zion's latest injury report.
I think the change that I've watched him make as far as the weight room goes over the last 3 years or so, speaks to his work ethic and who he is.
You don't need to be a detective to figure out who he's talking about. Speaking of that elephant in the room, let's talk about what everyone sees but the mainstream media tiptoes around. The weight issue isn't just bad, it's reached crisis levels. Every time Zion shows up to training camp or comes back from injury, he looks noticeably heavier. The Pelicans have reportedly tried everything: personal chefs, nutritionists, workout programs designed specifically for him. And what's the result? He keeps showing up looking like he spent his rehab time at a food court instead of a gym.
Zion Williamson, my brother, he looks fat, but you look like you showed up to the game having just ate a buffet. While LeBron James had dropped 30 and looked in peak physical condition, Zion Williamson went to the free throw line. I saw a belly. Like when he took a deep breath, his belly bounced. That kind of belly. I mean, damn. What's up, Zion? Did nothing to lead and galvanize your team. Did nothing to show the man-child that you are and to take over.
Skip Bayless has been absolutely ruthless about this on Undisputed, and while people hate Skip, can anyone actually argue with his point that Zion's weight is the root cause of every single problem? The foot injuries, the knee problems, the hamstring issues, these aren't random bad luck. These are the predictable consequences of carrying that much weight while trying to play explosive basketball. Your body simply cannot handle that kind of stress repeatedly.
Is it hard to diet at your age?
Sheesh.
Be honest.
Since it's you, I'll be real. It's hard, man. When you're young, you feel like can't nothing stop you. But then when you look back on your life, you really look at it like, man, the people who gave me wisdom, tried to nurture me, tell me, man, like, you don't need to do that. You need to do this. At this point in my life, I'm just looking back at it like, man, who really gave me wisdom? Who really tried to put me on game to things? And what I can say is I do respect brutal honesty. I'd rather somebody be brutally honest with me than try to sugarcoat it, because at the end of the day, if they honest with me, I know what I need to do to fix it.
You look slimmer already, bro. For real, like genuinely, right? You always been a happy kid, man. So, you know, like, we know the 27 and 12. We know you're going to do that. We just want to see you just stay on that so you can be who you are. You know, seeing you walk by, like, you happy. Let that spirit take you with you. And
I love y'all stories, man. Y'all some real G's to the game, and I do appreciate it.
But here's where it gets really dark, and this is pure speculation, but it needs to be said. What if Zion doesn't actually want to play basketball anymore? Think about it logically. He's already secured generational wealth with over $100 million in guaranteed money. He's dealing with chronic pain that will probably affect him for the rest of his life. His body is breaking down at 24 years old. Why would he keep putting himself through this? This theory becomes even more compelling when you look at his behavior patterns. The constant weight gain despite having access to the best resources in the world. The mysterious injuries that always seem to pop up right when the team needs him most. The complete lack of urgency in his rehab timelines. Either this is the unluckiest player in NBA history, or there's something else going on here.
This is not how I expected Zion Williamson's career to be going. Mariah Mills is threatening to release tapes of her and Zion Williamson, tweeting out that NBA, I have tapes of me and Zion Williamson, and he also has them on his trap phone at NBA, at Pelicans NBA, trade him now. He doesn't deserve to be in New Orleans. Tapes dropping soon.
The legal troubles just add another layer to this disaster. He's currently being sued by technology company Anchor for allegedly taking $2 million for promotional work he never completed. His former marketing agent Amin El Hassan has publicly discussed their messy split. There are whispers of more potential legal issues related to missed contractual obligations. This isn't normal superstar drama. This is someone whose entire professional life seems to be unraveling simultaneously. Let me paint you a picture of just how far he's fallen in terms of trade value. In 2019, Zion Williamson was the most hyped prospect since LeBron James. Every single team in the league would have mortgaged their future for the chance to draft him. Fast forward to today, and the Pelicans can't even get serious phone calls about him. Think about that. A 24-year-old former #1 overall pick who can drop 30 points when healthy, and teams would rather keep their cap space than take a chance on him. The word around the league is that his contract is completely untradeable. Not difficult to trade, literally untradeable. No team wants to take on that risk.
It is shameful. You got chefs in New Orleans. I'm not exaggerating. I'm quoting people. You got chefs in New Orleans who love him. They're looking for him. Every chef there wants to meet him because they know he'll show up to their restaurant. The word out on Zion Williamson is that he'll eat the table. I'm quoting. He'll eat the table. What in the hell is going on with Zion Williamson?
The situation in New Orleans has become absolutely toxic. You can see it in Brandon Ingram's body language every time he has to answer another question about Zion's availability. CJ McCollum tries to be professional, but you can tell he's frustrated carrying this team while their supposed franchise player is perpetually unavailable. The coaching staff looks defeated every time they have to give another injury update. And the fans? They've gone from frustrated to angry to just completely apathetic. Charles Barkley, who knows firsthand about weight issues affecting performance, has been increasingly critical on Inside the NBA about young players who don't take care of their bodies. While Chuck usually tries to be supportive of young guys, you can tell his patience has worn thin with certain players who have all the talent but none of the discipline. Shaquille O'Neal, who initially was one of Zion's biggest supporters and even gave him the nickname Baby Shaq, has noticeably stopped defending him. The silence from Shaq speaks volumes. When someone who went through similar weight criticisms won't even back you up anymore, you know it's bad. Here's the conspiracy theory that nobody wants to voice, but makes too much sense to ignore. What if Zion is intentionally making himself untradeable? Stay with me here. He's stuck in New Orleans, a small market team that hasn't been able to build a consistent winner around him. He can't demand a trade without looking like the bad guy. But if he makes himself so unreliable and untradeable that the Pelicans eventually have to buy him out, then he can sign with a contender for cheap while still collecting his guaranteed money. It sounds insane until you realize that whether it's intentional or not, that's exactly what's happening. The Pelicans are stuck with a max contract player they can't trade, can't rely on, and can't build around. It's the worst possible scenario for a franchise, and it's only getting worse. The comparison everyone makes is to Greg Oden or Sam Bowie, but that's actually unfair to those guys. They did everything right, and their bodies just betrayed them. What we're watching with Zion feels different. It feels like someone who got paid and then stopped trying. Whether that's fair or not, that's the perception around the league. What makes this tragic is remembering what we saw in those glimpses during his rookie year and the few healthy stretches since. This was a player who could legitimately average 30 points on 70% shooting. The combination of power and touch was unprecedented. He was doing things we'd never seen before, making the impossible look routine. But that player might be gone forever. What we have now is a cautionary tale that will be brought up in every negotiation about guaranteed contracts going forward. Owners will point to Zion as the nightmare scenario, a player who got paid maximum money and then essentially quit on his profession while still collecting checks. The saddest part is the complete lack of accountability or urgency from Zion himself. While his career crumbles, he seems perfectly content posting from vacation spots and showing up to games in designer fits. There's no visible frustration, no desperation to prove doubters wrong, no apparent recognition that his window is rapidly closing. This collapse isn't just affecting Zion and the Pelicans, it's affecting how the entire league thinks about team building. Do you really want to bet your franchise on a player with injury concerns now? The Zion situation has made every team more cautious about giving out max contracts to players with any red flags. As we watch this continue to unfold, the question isn't whether Zion can save his career anymore. The question is whether he even cares enough to try. Because from where everyone's sitting, it looks like Zion Williamson has already checked out of the NBA while still cashing NBA checks. Hit subscribe if you want the unfiltered truth about what's really happening in the NBA.